Hello and welcome to the final 7th chapter of our d6 versus everything repertoire. In this one we'll be covering other moves than e4 and d4 first moves. So it will be English, Reti, we will look at 1b3 and also birds opening 1f4. So like any other opening we won't cover, like I don't know, first move g3, because it basically will play. We cannot cover everything, yeah, it will be many hours long, this video. So I'll cover the main 4 alternatives, considering 1e4 and d4, comparing with them. Yeah, so let's start by English. By English, well, on lower levels it's kind of rarer opening, I would say. Yeah, mostly e4 is number 1, but we have to know how to deal with it. Of course, we play d6 first. We could start with e5, but that gives white some options, and then d6. Yeah, but let's keep it consistent. We always go d6 first move against everything, so this is no exception. White will go knight c3 or g3 first. It will basically transpose. And of course we go e5 next move. So now if white at any moment plays d4, it will basically just come back to our last chapter where we looked at 1 d4 d6. So we will get into the old Indian setup. So white tries to keep it like English style game, English opening, so they would go for g3. But before that, let's quickly check this e4 move. It's kind of, white wants to go to Botvinnik system. Here we could play knight f6, and basically we will see it will transpose after g3, bishop g2, if white tries to play it first. But here is a very interesting alternative, f5 move. It's kind of Dutch Grand Prix style move. Very aggressive alternative. You can attack the center. I'll quickly show you some moves, but more you can find in the study. Public study attached to this video description. White plays d3. We develop the knight like this. So this could be like alternative, aggressive alternative. We will anyway will play bishop b7, so can investigate more. If bishop g5, it's no worry. Here are some even dubious moves. Black is just fine here. So white will most likely set up this Botvinnik idea. And after bishop g2, we have a very nice exchange sacrifice idea. Castle. We are not ready. Looks like white thinks he's winning a pawn, but we're actually gonna sacrifice the exchange if he does that, with excellent compensation. Like here, we will see another line similar to this soon. So knight g2, queen e8, typical move for Grand Prix and Dutch systems. We are lifting the queen to h5, and here maybe if you're afraid to sacrifice the exchange, you could take on e4 and play this sort of setup, closing the diagonal. But if we're playing aggressively, I think this will be fun for black to sacrifice the exchange like this. And if now white plays knight d5, we can just take it, play knight b4, threatening d3 and all sorts of things. Excellent play and compensation for black. All light squares are weak. We're winning some material back already. So, and if they play after taking, yeah, we take back with the queen. They're playing castles, then of course we go knight b4, opening diagonal, hitting this pawn. This gives again terrific compensation for black for exchange. All the light squares are weak and we're winning some material back. So actually after f5, maybe white could play ef5, but then we just develop naturally, yeah, like all our typical moves. Castles with a very nice active position. So yeah, this f5 is very interesting alternative. But let's see how we get back into our own setup. Yeah, knight f6. bishop g2, bishop e7, and now white can play e4. Let's check it. So you see, it's basically, if we started with knight f6 instead of f5, it will come to the same thing. So how does black continue next? Well, of course, we don't need knight bd7 yet. Nobody is attacking e5, so this move is always optional, as mentioned many times. So we play c6. E4 is played already. So notice, yeah, this is our kind of rule. If this bishop gets closed, we go for b5 break, and basically d3, b5. We have good counterplay, so that's how mainly we play against botvinnik setup. So let's come back to other moves. e3 could be played. Yeah, this is a very typical English move as well. They want to go knight g2 and d4. So how we react against that? This time we could delay the castle a bit. Important to kind of take control in the center and play this bishop e6 move. Very important to attack c4. Before they played d4. So white has now to worry about the c4 pawn. They could defend it with d3 or b3. Queen b3 is a very risky move. Black could play queen c7, just defend the pawn, but actually this is an amazing move, not caring about this poison pawn. And basically white could get into huge trouble with all these pieces here stuck, and something like this could happen. Knight d3 already. Yeah, black is winning actually in this position. You could investigate more on your own. So knight bd7 is excellent against queen b3. But of course white will probably just defend it with d3 or b3. So let's check b3. B3 we immediately go d5, since now the queen cannot get out. Yeah, pressure our center, so we just take the center. And if d3, we can first castle and then play d5 with a nice trying to take our own share of center. Yeah, with a nice play here. Its engine shows around equal, so but we are developing nicely here. Knight might come to d7 as well. If they take, we might wait, yeah, for them to take. Knight can get to c6 then. So this is nice against e3. Just remember, first play c6, then bishop e6 quickly, yeah, to fight for the center. So let's check now the main move of English opening. This is knight f3. And how do we play our old Indian setup? We start with c6 again. Now any moment white plays d4, it will just transpose back to the last chapter 1d4. And this will be fianchetto line, old Indian. So if white wants to keep it English opening, they have to kind of play d3. Yeah, if they play d4, it immediately transposes back. So how do we fight against this white plan of typical English queenside push? We first castle, and then the main move in theory is a5 here, but we could play a6 as well. And it's a very nice idea for black to even allow b5. And we go rook b8, intending removing this rook out of the diagonal and intending b5. So white might think b5 is a very nice move here, but it's actually a bit dubious. Why? We can take with the a pawn, and suddenly the rook just gets back to the a line, and this pawn is pressured. So black seizes the semi-open a file, and we are fighting in the center. So for example, after a4, we take control of the center. So with a very double-edged game, but black is already more than fine, I would say. So the best move for white is just to strengthen their potential b5 with a4, but then that allows us to play b5 ourselves. So this is a very nice idea. b4, yeah, we don't stop anything, we play rook b8, let them play b5. If they do, we take back the a file and push in the center, and if they don't do that, we play b5 anyway. So, and our next moves will be like typical old Indian stuff with queen c7, bishop b7. Maybe we could throw in some knight b6 later on after queen c7, yeah, because if they take the pawn, queen will be hitting the knight at some moment. So with very nice fighting games. So that covers the English basically. Now let's move on to the next. After c4 we will look at Reti opening. So Reti is very similar to English, I would say. Like on lower levels it will mostly transpose back to the English, but we'll check a bit different setup how white plays this King's Indian attack more. Yeah, at any moment if they play d4 it will just get back to our usual stuff, like 1d4, yeah, Fianchetto line. So and if they play, for example, at some moment if they play c4, like for example here, it will get back into English, you see. So Reti is kind of a very transpositional opening, I would say. So knight c3, yeah, it's basically gets back to the English what we already looked at. Yeah, knight here. So okay, so let's say they try to keep it King's Indian attack style, yeah, with the e4 move. And how do we, basically our moves doesn't change, yeah, we play the same setup against everything. So we can be flexible here, yeah, not put the knight here, we don't need that at the moment. Yeah, we're keeping the bishop open, and white usually does these sort of things. Yeah, maybe rook e1 inserted. c3 means they want to play b4, yeah, similar to our own idea. So we stop it, and here is a very flexible kind of starting position. Tabia you can investigate more, but black is very flexible position. From here you can improvise, yeah, maybe knight goes here, maybe you try to push in the center somehow, and so on. Yeah, so very rich position from here. So basically we set up our own old Indian against even King's Indian attack. Yeah, it's fight for the center as well. So Reti, I don't see like many unique lines for white. Yeah, they might go for it, but mostly it will transpose back to d4 or English, I would say, on below 2000 online. So so after Reti we have this b3 Cowboy opening, or Larsen as its original name. So I checked some even courses for white, how they play against this our setup, yeah, our old Indian setup. So bishop b2, e5. Yeah, you could also start with e5, but maybe that gives some white some other options. So why not keep everything consistent and go d6? Now if they play bishop b2, that gives us a chance to take over the center. Yeah, you could play knight f6, but this setup is very flexible. You can change the move order at any time. So why not take the center when opponent gives us that opportunity? So we play e5. And now again, if d4, we might take it, yeah, but to keep it consistent, we play knight d7, and we go back into the probably similar stuff like old Indian, yeah, against 1d4. So e3 mostly they will play. And here the main move probably for white is c4. Another popular idea is knight f3. But knight f3 we go just simply bishop e7. c4 will transpose to what we'll look next. So d4, but that's dubious because it allows very important move e4, and we take basically the center. Now since b3 is played, white cannot like put another pressure on d5 with the queen, for example. So this is kind of reversed French happening here, but black is already slightly better because he has more space. White might play f3 at some moment, but that will create additional weaknesses for him. So black is already more than fine because he has big central space advantage. So knight f3, yeah, if they try for this d4, it doesn't work because of e4, and we take the center. So most likely they will play c4, and this can also happen from English when they start c4, yeah, then they go b3 and bishop b2. So this can arise from that move order. So we continue our normal moves. Bishop e7. There's no need for knight b7 yet. Nobody's attacking e5. So knight c3 and castles. So For example, now white has a couple moves. Main one is in Adhiban course with b3 is knight g2, I think. So let's check that first. c6, d4, knight b7. Yeah, now they're putting pressure here, so we go knight b7. And this is the move recommended in that Adhiban course from Chessable, knight g3. But I found some improvement. He didn't analyze this line, for example. We played g6, of course. We want to avoid any knight jump here, and we kind of limiting this knight here. Might seem a risky move, yeah, because it is bishop, but it's concrete. The bishop is not open yet, so. And surprisingly, we play h5. So this is a very typical pattern against such knights. On g3 or b3, we play h5 or a5, yeah, if the knight is placed here. So we kind of kick this knight. So castle, for example, and we kick it. Yeah, of course, he doesn't want to go to h1, so he goes to the center. And we just basically trade some pieces, and black is fine. I think it's equal game. We might even use this h4 pawn later, yeah, to push h3 or something. So I found this improvement. Yeah, otherwise, if you don't play this h5, white will go castles and f4. So that will give them some advantage. So we have to know this h5 idea against this knight. So knight g2 covered. Let's check d4 next. d4, we have to play c6 this time. This is a bit of an exception. If we go knight b7, white, if he knows, he might get advantage with this g4 move. Yeah, and then a typical development like this. He will get some space advantage here. So we play c6 instead. We're not afraid of any d takes e4, d takes e5. That won't give any advantage to white. We'll see soon. If knight f3, again, this e4, typical center fixing, yeah, and we're having a huge center advantage. So they take d5, we take back, and this reminds me of again of this kind of Ukrainian when white plays d4 c4 first moves, yeah, and we play d6 e5, and this endgame arises. So kind of similar to Philidor endgame. Very important move to play with the knight here. So we intend f6 to basically bolster this pawn, because it gets attacked many times often. So, and then it's very kind of similar to what we looked at, that endgame. Knights will develop to c5, and we're doing equal here. I think black is fine. So d4, yeah, covered. What about queen c2 there? They're trying to play it kind of reverse Sicilian. How do we react against that? Well, knight b7, yeah, we could play, but why not include the useful move, yeah, and keep this in reserve as needed. Maybe we'll even expand in the center at some moment. So knight f3, for example, rook e8, and bishop f8, yeah, all typical moves. Clearing side for this pawn with the rook, and we're ready to even push d5 at some moment if needed. So this is a very rich position. You can improvise from here. Maybe develop somehow uniquely like this, or at some moment even wait, even push d5, wait for this knight. Yeah, if they take this knight, we'll get to c6 even. So very interesting position. So that basically covers the b3 idea. And finally, we're left with the bird opening. Yeah, I decided, because it's also a kind of move influencing the center, decided to look at this one. d6, yeah, nothing changes. We play d6 against everything. So now if they play e4, this will most likely transpose to our e4 lines, yeah, like Austrian attack it could get, for example. Like we could get Austrian attack like this. So we're ready for that. Yeah, we know this stuff. So what they will play, if they want to play pure bird, yeah, so they will play knight f3. Of course, we develop in our standard moves g3 and knight b7, intending e5, yeah, to fight for center. And here I think I missed one move. Yeah, b3. If they try to play b3, here black even has a very nice tactical move. Instead of preparing e5, we could play it immediately, like e5. They cannot take twice on e5, yeah, that will lose material. So they usually take once, or if they play e3, then we play e4. if they play e4, then we might go back into our setups, or we can even take the pawn and play something like this. But e4 is like engine move. Basically white equalizes here. So so b3 is very dubious because it allows this immediate e5, and if they take once and attack this e5 pawn, then we just push it and we exchange the knight with excellent play for black. Here is even better because we have more space. Yeah, our piece is flying into the game, so very important. Against early b3 we could immediately play e5 because there is this tactic with queen d4. So usually they will try to play this like a Dutch reversed, yeah, with the g3 bishop g2, but then we push e5 and yeah, they go d3. And now you could play bishop e7 move, but here it's concrete. We have this nice move, takes on f4, bishop gets out, and our intention is to play d5 this way. If they stop this d5, then we play c6 and still intend d5 at some moment. So let's say castles d5, and our ideas are after d5 move this knight to here, hitting this bishop, and then castle. Because we have a nice pawn in the center, we have counterplay here. So yeah, against bird you don't need to know many things. Just play normal setup. Maybe just this idea that you take on f4 whenever they play d3. Yeah, this would be like improvement over bishop e7. So okay, we covered all the kind of rarer moves besides e4 and d4. Yeah, I won't cover anything else. Like b4, you can play basically the same setup even against some weird moves like e3. Yeah, first move e3 and so on. So basically covered the main moves and alternatives. And what can I say? Yeah, this was the last chapter of this series, and in the next video I'll cover the model game. So we'll see awesome examples from grandmaster and strong player games, how they use this setup d6 against everything. Wish you good luck playing it. You see, you can check always Lich's study. There's the theory. You can watch the video once, yeah, and then you can just basically look at Lich's study and remember the moves. But as you've seen, you don't need to remember a lot. Yeah, you just need to remember the main setup where the pieces go. So this opening can be picked immediately. I think you can start playing it, and then from your practice, from analyzing your games, you can basically learn as you go. So wish you best of luck playing this with black until you reach higher level. Then you can basically upgrade your opening, but this is an excellent weapon in my opinion for lower level guys. And even I play it sometimes in blitz, so even I use it like near master level, so why you can use it as well, I think. Yeah, so best of luck and see you in the final video about model games. Bye bye.